Greetings and welcome to today's Audit Tuesday. This UAttest podcast will highlight UAttest's offer for identity security and compliance for the managed service providers, called usually the MSPs. To help with this discussion, we have, of course, Bill Lauterbach, UAttest Channel Director, and Kashif Mahmood, UAttest Field Service Director. Welcome, Bill and Kashif.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
All right, let's get into it. Bill, let's help the audience out first. Why do enterprises, why do they do these identity audits at all?
Well, there's two main reasons. One's for security and one's for compliance. And as far as compliance goes, here is a quick slide that everybody can take a screenshot of. But these are the industries and the regulations that they need to meet on a quarterly basis, and maybe sometimes more than that. So you have your healthcare, finance, insurance, publicly traded companies, defense, retail, international, and these are your regulations to your right.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's it. And audience out there, we have customers who are doing our audits, our reports, and submitting them to each one of these, including there's a couple of others. All right, good stuff. Hey, Kashif, what are the security reasons behind an identity audit?
Thanks, Gary. And yeah, from an audit perspective, I can think of three main reasons for security that we do conduct these audits. One is to find out any ghost accounts and remove those ghost accounts from your identity systems, from your organization. Second could be to remove your orphan users with privileges that have been there for quite some time without getting noticed. So you can clean your identities up by removing those orphan accounts and privileges. And third could be the excessive privileges in general. If anyone has any excess privileges within the company that they shouldn't have, you can clean those up by removing those privileges and giving them only the desired and needed privileges on the principle of least privilege.
Principle of least privilege. Way to wrap it up. NIST CSF 2.0, that's cybersecurity framework, calls it out in PR.AA05. There you go. Principle of least privilege. And it's pretty much those guidances and regulations that Bill showed, they pretty much copy and paste the CSF writings into their guidance and regulations. Good stuff, Kashif. Good stuff, Bill. All right, so Bill, if it's so obvious why enterprises should do these identity audits, why don't they do them? Or how do they do them?
Well, most companies have not automated their identity audits, but instead they're doing them manually with spreadsheets, screenshots, and emails, which contain a high error rate, which then creates more work for the audit team.
Yeah, I've read it's like 60% errors on that. So let me show the audience how we do it at UAttest, and I'll try to be as clean as Bill was putting up a slide, but here we go. So let me hit a button here, hit share, and in theory, I'm showing the screen. Okay, I'm showing the screen, right, guys?
You are.
Yes.
Look at that. Okay, thanks. Okay, so here you go. Here how does we work. This is your life out there. There's some guy, MSPs, your client, who's struggling. He's struggling and he's looking at this stuff and the regulations, guidances, frameworks, that wonderful slide that Bill showed, they don't know that from Adam. They're just like, what the hell? And then he's got all these identities out here, okay? This is where you come in. You become the GRC practitioner, and we'll train you. We've got demos, we've got videos. We'll show you. We'll handhold you. You use our tool, and it imbibes all these identities, and then with a few button clicks, it sends out the attestations. The attestation is the word the auditors use that have the people, the business owners of those applications and resources, have they approved? This is where Kashif kicked in. This is where you find your ghost and your orphan counts and your overprivileged. Then what it does is create a report. It can go straight into the IAM and pull out those bad identities, but it also creates a report which is really needed and required by the auditor's system. Okay, good stuff, team. So that's the product and that's the improvement in this world. So Bill, let's turn to the MSPs. You attested created a portal for the MSPs, managed service providers, right? So they can
Right.
run these audits across all their customers, right?
Correct. That is correct. And lately, we've been working with dozens of MSPs to gather their requirements and desires around identity audits. Everyone seems to have a different view, and we're more than happy to help them out. And in this way, they can manage multiple clients through a single console. They can run their own POCs and they can run their own audits with their customer base.
Yeah, and UATest simplifies that nasty process of billing them, of figuring out what they should be charging these clients, right?
Correct. I mean, first off, there are no upfront costs for
Oh, good
putting
point.
in UATest MSP. The only time they get charged is when they use the licenses. UATest. So in a month, if they use licenses, we aggregate all the licenses from their customers, and then we bill them on a tiered rate. And then this allows a single bill from UATest to the MSP for all their clients.
That was a really good point, Bill. No upfront cost. It's just a usage basis to the MSPs. And then we aggregate the usage and then discount accordingly to the usage, to the number. All right. So this is pretty relevant to consultants who are doing these audits too, right?
Yeah, correct. Consultants are enhancing their offerings with UATest to provide an automated service around identity audits.
All right. Let's give the hard job to Kashif. Kashif, hey, why don't you show the demo? There we go. Put them on the spot. We only had to show slides, but this is a real-time demo. Let's go.
Sure. Let me know when you can see my screen, please.
100%. See it.
All right. So before we get into the UATest audit product, we have built this MSP portal for our partners and consultants who can build this up by adding their multiple clients under one umbrella. And from here, they can manage those clients as far as the audit process goes. They can simply add a client over here by putting in the details, just like the site address, their passwords, name, and whoever is going to be the admin of that account. Once this is created, and by the way, as soon as they will create the account, it will be created as a POC account that comes with like 100 licenses so they can test it out and everything. But then that MSP partner can convert that account into a live account by adding licenses to that POC. So once you add license to it, it will become a live account. And now what you can do as an MSP, as handling their audits on their behalf, you can choose any client from here and switch into their UATest dashboard. So you can manage their accounts, or you can see the activity that's been going on inside, or you can delegate out to relevant managers or the group owners or the application owners, or even you can create audits on their behalf. So you will have access to this dashboard where you will be able to create audits after the integration, which is a simple process, which takes not more than like 40 to 45 minutes. And then when it's all done, we get you up and running. And the same day, after an hour, you will be able to create these application audits to see who has access to these applications that are part of your identity system. You can run your group audits to see who has access to certain groups within that identity system or within the company. And then you can also target for example, privileged users to target certain administrators or certain high ups in the company just to see what kind of privileges do they have within the company when it comes to their identity. So you can run these audits on their behalf. Once you create the audit, delegate them to their relevant managers automatically, or you can do that manually. If you don't want to delegate to their managers, you can delegate to the security people or to their IT admin or to their compliance people, and they will review whether this person should have access to this resource. Once they have done that, you complete the audit and you produce this report as a final evidence to your auditors, where you will also have the whole trail of the audit. I mean, who did what was the user profile, whether it was reviewed, and when it was reviewed, whether it was recommended to be certified or revoked, and what was the time. The timestamp will also be there. Plus, you will also be able to put in comments that will serve as your justification behind that action, whether it's certified or revoked. So that becomes enabled in both PDF and the CSV formats. That's for the report.
Great stuff there, Kashif. And yeah, and people out there, MSPs and consultants that will work with Bill on this, we will train you. We'll get you up to speed. We've got our materials are good. We have one consultant just taught himself on a Sunday, and he was up and running this stuff on a Monday. So good stuff. Bill, how can the MSPs and consultants get a hold of you?
Yeah, either send us an email at partners@uitest.com or just go to our webpage and fill out a contact form.
Yeah, and we'll be right on it. Good stuff, Tim. Yeah, and for general questions, as always, go to the webpage or just write us at info@uitest.com. All the best. Good job there, Kashif and Bill. Thanks.
Thank
Thank you.